because as the game progresses further and further, there's more and more chance that, you know, Light's going to be able to push out and just start claiming parts of the map. And once siege tanks get out and just kind of make their claim, it is really hard to uproot them. We do have some dropships out. We have 2 dropships, and it looks like they're just looking like they're going for a double drop. This could be the beginning of the end for Soap, theoretically, because if, oh no, okay, that dropship got spotted. That dropship's not going to do anything. He's trying to run to Marines for some reinforcements, but all he really ended up doing was, you know, getting 1 Marine out and getting his dropship killed. So that's not going to help Light win the game. What I was saying before is that if you can do very good drops and just, you know, whenever you're kind of even with the Zerg and the Zerg hasn't done any economic harass to you, if you can manage to do something to them, you can just absolutely crush them. They won't be able to get anything done. And here comes some harassment at the 3rd base. Looks like a lot of those probes or those drones went down. There are some lurkers here in order to make life miserable. And wow, the Nidus Canal went down pretty much as soon as it came up. So he still will not be able to reinforce this base right away. Nidus Canals are critical for a middle to late game Zerg because it allows them to move throughout the map. You know, they can reinforce all their bases from any point. Normally Zergs have a problem because they have like their production hatchery in their main, and so with the production hatchery they can get troops there very quickly, but if they're being attacked somewhere else they can't necessarily get troops over there, which is where the Nidus Canal comes in. Alright. That's great. We've got a lot of overlords moving away. I'm not sure if that's a really stupid... Oh, wow. How did I miss the Greater Spire? That was my bad, guys. But yeah, it looks like he made a Greater Spire when I was off talking about something else. A little bit late at night, so sometimes I'll, you know, not be paying attention, and it's bad, I'm sorry. But we do have Guardians coming out, and honestly, Guardians make me nervous. Not for Light, but for So. I've seen a lot of players get Guardians, and then for some reason it's like they think Guardians are the do-all, end-all unit in the game. And so they'll just sit there and be like, I have Guardians, and they'll send them in by themselves, and they'll just get killed, and it's bad. And there, yep, So is finally splitting his Guardians up. I don't know what happened there, if he just wasn't paying attention or what. And that's a lot of Zergling blood right there. Looks like some Marines went in to harass the 4th base, and were fairly successful at it. Eventually it does get cleaned up, but there were a lot of Zerglings that paid the ultimate price. Although really, that's what Smurflings are for. I forgot I was supposed to call them Smurflings. My bad. Okay, we do have Defilers out as well too. So, yep, there is the hive, obviously. If you see Guardians, you should know there's a hive somewhere. You're not terrible. And there is a scouting overlord that is probably going to die. It looks like the Marines kind of, you know, pushed it off and were like, okay, and wandered off somewhere else, which is unusual. Marines should really care about killing overlords unless they're fighting something else. Obviously, if you're engaging the Zerg army, overlords are not your highest priority, but... Okay. And Flashbacks are going in. I don't know, does Light not know? If Light doesn't know there's Defilers, he knows now. I'm seeing a lot of Irradiate being used on lurkers, and you almost never want to race Irradiate on lurkers. It's not, you know, it can be done, it just probably shouldn't. And there's that command center floating forlornly above the comsat. He's very sad. He's like, I want to mine minerals, but he can't because there's Zerg units down there. Interestingly enough, I haven't seen Hydras lately, and I haven't seen that all the mutas became Guardians, so I don't think So has any anti-air at the moment. So when a comsat or a, you know, whenever a command center floats off, there's really nothing he can do about it because all of his units are ground only. He can just sit there and be sad. Oh. So we do have Light. Light continues to push pressure over here on. Actually, right now he's at the expansion. So he's switching back and forth between the expansion and the other base, trying to, you know, kind of catch So out of position. That may be done to a certain extent in order to mess with these, try and get these Guardians out of position. Sorry, wow, I'm apparently tired and just not being able to talk tonight. My apologies. But yeah, we've got, he's trying to, because Guardians and really flying units in general cannot take Nidus Canals. Apparently they can't fly low enough. It's all scary in there and wet. Their wings would get stuck. Okay, we've got a pretty good game going here so far. I'm impressed at least. There is a drone trying to get an expansion. He will not. Marine is guarding the expansion. He's like, no. We have a couple Marines coming down here to the lurkers in order to try and clean up this expansion so Light can take it again. I will say, Light may be in some trouble here pretty soon. Because I don't see... I mean, that third base got denied, and I haven't... I guess he's just now starting to rebuild it. But, you know, Terran, you know, if Zerg is 2 bases up on Terran, and Terran's only on 2 bases, you know, being 2 bases up isn't horrible, but when the Zerg has double your bases, that's bad. There's never a point where a Terran can get by on, you know, half the number of bases as Zerg. Maybe 1 base on 2, but even that is kind of pushing it. Alright, so more radiate going on. Pretty good job of both players. Both players are trying to take the map now. For a while there, it was that So was just sort of sitting in his base and not doing a whole lot. And now they're both pushing in all over each other. Really seems like Light has more map control than So. So is pushing out, but So really isn't moving that army of Lights. And that's bad. At this point, you know, it's to the point in the game where you need to be, you know, killing off your enemy. So Light's want to come in here. Light may take out this... Okay, maybe not. So say he doesn't have a ton of guys left. And that was a lot of Zerglings I just saw run out. And okay, a lot of Zerglings and Swarm is bad news for Marines. It also looks like Light had moved away for a second. Although perhaps so would So, because here comes a lot of his Zerglings back again. So, there's a Guardian that's going to be picking away at those Marines. He gets killed off, but there's not a lot of Marines left. He needs to be careful, though, because more troops keep coming in, and Swarm will not help your buildings. It'll help you quite a bit, but it won't... Your buildings, no. They can still hit buildings even through Swarm. No amount of bugs can stop that. We've got Ultralisk out now. I saw the Cavern a little bit ago, but didn't actually think that they were upgraded. Excuse me, sorry guys. Just had a horrible urge to yawn. Haven't upgraded, you know, I think they were upgraded enough to really come out. But it looks like they are at 1 attack, 4 armor. So they do have the +2 armor. I guess he's 1-2 on normal units. Ultras are just special. Honestly, with Ultras, you do want armor more than you want attack. The purpose of Ultras is they're like, you know, Sherman tanks. They, you know, they do a pretty good amount of damage, but they really hold up to damage. Wow, okay, yeah, we've got a eraser trick going on and harassment at the main, so this could be very, very bad for Light, or for So. There goes the Ultralisk Cavern, and there went the Extractor. And the Extractor is not as big a deal as the Ultralisk Cavern, but it's still bad. And we've got dropship dropping even more troops down at the Natural. This may, if So does not do something pretty quick, this could ruin it for him. Because he's got, you know, he's being harassed at 3 of his 4 bases. And, you know, he is going to clean this up, it looks like. Oh, those poor Zerglings. So it's like, ah, I'm gonna kill you! Except they can't. Finally, the Guardian comes along and is like, oh, I got this, guys. But yeah, those poor Zerglings, they were told to do an impossible mission. They can't get back there. Alright, so we do have Light moving troops out to the middle, but that was a very good attack. He disrupted mining on all but 1 base, and he took out the Ultra Cavern. Ultra Cavern is coming back up, and honestly, Ultra Cavern builds pretty quickly. So it's not, you know, the do-all, end-all, oh my gosh, you know, So's gonna lose the game now. But it was still a very, very effective attack. Anytime you can get into the main and start doing damage, you're doing very well. And what are you doing? So he's like, well, my guy's got a radiant, I'm just gonna let him stand here until they die. I would have, you know, gone ahead and tried to use those. You know, they're not going to be around long enough to actually regenerate. I'll tell you that right now. It's not going to happen. There's some Scourge. Keep an eye on that Vulture. Make sure that Vulture doesn't go anywhere. And the Ultra Cavern is back up. So like I said, it's not going to delay him for too long, but it is certainly, you know, annoying to have to spend the resources again. And it does cause a little hiccup in their production. So, you know, if Light was going to move in, that was a good time, because So was a little psychologically bothered by the fact he didn't have it anymore. It looks like Light is now trying to expand up into the 12 o'clock position. But So saw that command center floating along and is going to try and stop it. And that's a good number of Ultras coming in. A very good number of Ultras, although they seem to be shuffling. They're not actually fighting, they're doing the Ultra Shuffle. There they come, yay. 1 second. Something really weird is playing on my speakers. And I don't want you guys to be distracted by that. That was, wow. I downloaded a whole bunch of Overclock remixes, and I don't know what remix that was, but it's not something I want to listen to. And, okay, looks like Light is going for So's 5th base now, and it looks like he's going to kill it off. I don't see anything heading that way for So. Nope, there it goes. So is not going to be able to save that one, or was not able to save that one, but he did get some science vessels. And, okay, here come the troops. They're coming in. I'm not sure how they came in from the south there. I don't really know Roadrunner that well, if you can't tell. But they're coming in. The Ultras are back. And looks like there's some more harassment going in at the 9 o'clock base. So Light is doing a really good job harassing. That is going, you know, honestly, if Light wins this game, I'm going to say he won it on the merit of harassment alone. Because So just cannot keep bases that are mining. You know, he's got a lot of bases, he's got a lot of drones, but he keeps losing the bases that he's setting up. And so a lot of his economy is going to replacing what Light's taking away. So, honestly, you know, I think if Light had, well, again, this is kind of a moot point. If Light had focused more on economy, he would have more bases up. So, but if Light hadn't been harassing like this, So would be overrunning him right now. Because So has so